Yeah, all good, thank you. Cool.
It's pretty ferocious.
It is, isn't it?
Scared,
it's just sensitive.
More scared today than I will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come on then.
I love these little brake levers, you know, it's like right snug on you. Yeah, it's got a good feel to it. This is going to be absolute carnage.
Absolutely, I can smell the engine already.
Huh?
Those boots are so nice.
Thanks. What? This is just like ferocious. What? It's so snappy. It's like so lovely. Did you win?
Here's how you ride it. Did I win?
Yeah.
Of course.
Right, got everyone? Okay, so turn one. For those who haven't ridden here for a while, comes up on you very quickly. When you come under the start-finish gantry, you are travelling very quickly, probably somewhere around 240 kilometres an hour, something like that. So as you come over the top, this turn isn't as tight as it looks, but you're coming over the top very quickly. Just be mindful, they will see a blue light in pit lane. If someone is coming out, they'll see the blue light, but we are exiting pit lane into turn one. So turn one, the apex is where you'd expect it to be, but the track goes all the way out to the curbs over there, so you can run yourself all the way to the curbs. They have been very slippery in the wet, so we haven't been using them, but you can still carry some good speed through turn one, out to the curbs, and then turn two there. Again, we almost ignore it. We're going to apex it, but we're not going to be braking for that. We're not going to be shutting the throttle. So I'm coming through here in third. Where's Luke? He'll tell you what the proper gear is. Yeah, great. So third through here for me, and then driving all the way out to the curbs. Ignore number two, it's just fast through there, and then it's number three, which is back to second and a tight right-hander. Everybody good with that so far? Cool, let's go. We'll make a start. Luke's talking. So turn three is tighter, as I said, but the tricky one is four. And four is tricky because if you will exit turn three around about here, and you don't want to turn into turn four too early because it drops away from you, and you'll be going towards the curbs on the other side. So come back to the right, so there's somewhere behind where Toad is. Back to the right, just to the right of the sign, and then apex fairly early and back on the throttle. That will not put you on the rumble strips. If you you are heading towards the curbs, just go across them. They're painted, then there's tarmac. So if you've got it wrong, it's not a problem, but don't try and put a turn in on the paint, obviously. So this is probably one of the trickiest corners, because people, given that you're somewhere there, to get back across, to get back for the right apex and to hug that curb round the top can be tricky. Everybody good with that? So we'll head down. Good. Let's head down that way.
Everyone's using their back brake to stop.
It's just too fun.
Or throttle wide open, third, fourth, possibly fifth, depending where you're at. And then as you come over that hill, this turn comes up very, very quickly. So we are using the FIM, the MotoGP circuit, which is this tighter turn. If you get it wrong, you can use the wider car circuit should you need to. As you can see, there's plenty of tarmac runoff. Ideally in the morning, build up to it, because as you're coming over the top there relatively quickly, you want to be hitting the brakes somewhere around the start of the curbs, and it will just come up very fast on you. So braking in a straight line, obviously, and then this is a tight turn. So this is second for me, and then I'm short shifting to third for the next corner through there. We won't stop at that one. That next left is lovely, but your challenge here will be your braking point if you miss it. So again, if you have missed it, feel free to use that bit, but that we shouldn't really be using it.
Just remember that the paint's slippery, so if you do run deep, don't do the long circuit and miss the paint. And also when it's wet, if it's dry in the morning, there'll be a little bit of water. If there's been rain through the night, there'll be a bit of water mid-corner, so just be mindful of that too.
Okay. Short shift to third, driving really hard to that left-hander, and then this widens out. But again, if it's wet, stay off the paint. But you can stay to the far side of the track, and seven's really nice. So driving in third all the way, and then back to second before we go up the hill to the waterfall. As we'll stop at the top of the waterfall, but as you get to there's two sections. The bike will wheelie off both. Nicely controlled, it's a really good wheelie, but second gear out of there, whether you go for third or leave in second, whichever way, you will wheelie off the first part of the waterfall and the second part. So we'll stop up there. But again, for here, lovely left-hander there at 6. 7 is just third gear, driving all the way around. All good? Any questions? Wow.
Drive all the way around it.
Yeah, you got it.
Which one makes it go faster? Is it that one?
This one's your top speed.
Okay.
And so that's the torque delivery.
We'll have a bit more of that.
Have a bit more of that.
Okay, so this is Waterfall. Everyone remember Jack Miller's photo, both wheels in the air over here? This is brilliant. The bike, it's quite steep up there. The bike will wheelie off the first part, as I said, but you'll be sort of behind where Lara is, you'll be there on the track. So if you wheelie off the second part, even if you're pulling a stonking wheelie, we still want to get to the middle of the track at least to get back for that super fast left-hander you can see there. So again, driving really hard from down there, track or slightly further, because that left-hander is fast. That's third gear just pinned wide open, so all the way around there. It's a really lovely corner, but as again you can see, you can't see any of this till you get here. All good? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Right, 10. Big wheelies going on there, look. Okay, so 10's an interesting one because you're coming up the hill, you can't see it. So you come out of that left-hander, throttle wide open hopefully, you're coming up the hill, you can't see any of this. So the trick is, and Luke will jump in here, the trick is to find yourself a point to look at. The actual apex of the corner is all the way around there. It's like 3/4 of the way that side. So you'll come over the top and actually let the bike run deep and then come back at it. So you're not looking to apex there or to stay to the left-hand side of the track.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about getting back to the left as you come up the hill. You can pretty much straight line, and you want to be aiming for the inside curve. You can do all your braking straight, upright, bring you like out to this point, and then come back to the apex. That is anyway. You don't need to worry about going to the left side of the track to make this one big constant arc. Because you're braking on the side of the tyre, you can do all your braking upright, and then turn to the apex and the left side.
Getting towards the end of the lap now, this is another corner that comes up very fast on you. So as you come through that left-hander we've just come through, you think where we've done the difficult right, you'll be picking up speed all the way down the hill, and then through that left-hander, that's a lovely corner. You can see it, everything's good, but it does mean you will arrive here very quickly. So the apex, this is back a couple of gears. The apex is round here, because again it's very easy to drift across to that curve over there. The apex is tight here, so you want to stay wide and come back for it, because the other point is the next right-hander is where the long lap section is, so it's a hairpin right. It's a gentle hairpin all the way round, but it's a hairpin right. So if you're too wide, you're going to be too tight for that. You're going to have to come all the way back across the track and shut the throttle. So again, apex sort of there, towards the end of this corner. Late braking if you can, brake in a straight line, turn the bike, cut this in half and go that way. All good?
All great then.
Great. Look.
I wasn't expecting that.
Have you nearly crashed it yet?
No.
No one's crashed one yet. You would be the first. Well, Sargi had a go, but... Right, just a point here. That corner's lovely, but that river running across the track has been there since we got here. So if it's still there now and it's been dry since 11 o'clock this morning, it's likely to be there in the morning. So just be mindful, you will be committed through there, and there is that wet patch there. Then as we come down here, pit lane entry is here. We'll talk about that if you're in the briefing in the morning, and then we'll do it on the sighting laps. But if you're exiting there on the throttle and you want pit lane, please just stay to the right, because you don't know who's coming through with the throttle wide open thinking that you're going to carry on. So the last minute dive across the track isn't ideal really. So if you're coming out of that turn there, just stay to the right, arm out, foot out, whatever you want to do. Pit lane entry is there. From here we head into 15, which is just a mega corner. So again, you'll be on the throttle all the way around there, picking up more and more speed. really driving hard round here, and then we'll head down to 15, the last corner now. All good? Okay, last corner.
Look at how much of torque that was.
So the apex of this corner is around about here, because you want to be getting the drive onto the straight and you want the maximum amount of circuit left so as the bike can just drift across. So as you're coming around where Luke is now, you want to be mid-track, just and aiming to apex here, just hugging this curve slightly with the throttle wide open as we head onto the main straight. And as you can see on the main straight, there is that lip. That's what we're going to be using for the wheelie session tomorrow, because it's easier for people to get the bike up. The bike will wheelie off that lip. So if you're coming through here in third and then into fourth, it will wheelie off there onto the main straight. Again, it's a nice controlled wheelie, but if you are apexing too early up there, you can see it'll push you wider and wider. You're going to struggle to turn the bike to get it back because the throttle should be open. So again, just coming through here, stay mid-track and start to aim for this section roughly here. And then from there we can be absolutely wide open and we're pinned all the way down to turn 1. Is that okay for everybody? Yeah. Right, we're done. So we'll head into the pit lane we're not using. Head in there now.